And go.
And welcome to another episode of Ripping the Rack podcast. I believe this is episode 44. I am your tri-host Tim. With me today is tri-host Brian. Brian, how you doing?
Hi, everyone.
And a tri-host, Mackie. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, dudes? Glad to keep coming back to this thing.
This
This
is
is
the
awesome.
tri-host heroes instead of the tri-force heroes.
We're the tri-host heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe. I like it. It's not bad.
Yeah. Hey.
The tri-host heroes.
Yeah.
So definitely amateur hour, and that's okay. Amateur podcasts are sometimes a fun podcast. The agenda for today, for those still listening after 46 seconds, is we got a couple of questions from some listeners, and then it's going to be all about the women of Candlepin Bowling. It is we are taping this on Monday. It is International Women's Day. I don't know what that means.
Thank you to all the wonderful women in our lives.
I think I was supposed to cook dinner tonight.
Tim, it was actually probably nice of you to not try and cook dinner and make more of a mess for Angie to clean up.
So Angie cooked dinner.
That's probably the safe bet. At least it got done right. You didn't use the wrong frying pan.
It was most likely more delicious, too, as well. So I'm sure it went good. The house did less burning down.
Well, whenever Tim cooks, it's usually, it's something like, it's Chinese or pizza or, wherever the takeout's from. So it's typically pretty tasty when Tim cooks.
Typically, actually, when Tim actually cooks, I can actually cook. I just fucking hate cooking. I hate it with the passion of 1,000 burning suns.
Oof.
Like, I hate it more
cooking.
than leaving the back row at Lita in the 20th string of the Easter Classic.
Isn't that so much fun when that happens?
I don't know. I've never done it because I've never bowled the Easter Classic. But I can only imagine how happy I would be leaving the back row in the 20th string of the Easter Classic. I can only imagine. First, I do want to thank Jason Kaler. They put on a heck of a fun tournament this Saturday. It was supposed to be 18 teams. Unfortunately, COVID limited that to 9 teams for Maine.
It was awful nice of them to lift the border restrictions the day before the tournament.
That was nice. Yeah, but they did not lift the building requirements. So still would have been screwed. So that was fun. Good time. We're already looking forward to next year on that one. And there was one other shout out I wanted to give. Oh, 2 other shout outs. First, this Friday, 6 o'clock, Stars and Strikes Bowling Center in South Paris, Maine. They are doing a ladder televised live
on their Facebook page.
Yep, where Brian and I will do the announcing for it. So there'll be a 5-string qualifier, and then your top 5 will single string down to a champion. Cool little thing is once you get into the ladder, 5 marks in a row, you get a Bitcoin wallet and $15 in Bitcoin, I think, total of $50. And then every mark after that is another $25 in Bitcoin, which is kind of cool. Kind of a neat little thing.
That's different.
Yeah.
It's a different prize to offer. It's a different incentive. I like it.
It's pretty cool. And he does
more of that. A little more venturing out of comfort zones for different things. I like that.
And he does have a Bitcoin ATM in the bowling alley.
Cutting edge. Rusty is cutting edge.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. And then the last shout out I want to do is hell of a match in the Chicha mixed doubles between Laurie Lewis, Nate Lees against Josh Daly and Sonia Rossi. I believe that was held in Portsmouth on Saturday afternoon.
Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday?
No, it was on Sunday.
Sunday.
There was a Chicha match going on here as well in the men's bracket, and we were watching a little bit of it.
That was one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. It literally came down to the very last ball of the match. Tie ball game. Nate's on a spare. Josh is on a spare. tie ball game. 1 ball wins it. Nate Lees throws a hammer. Josh, I'm going to give him credit. He did what he had to do. He hit the object pin just a little bit full, left it 2-1. They ended up losing by 3, but it was fun to watch. You know, I know Josh, you know, pretty well, and I'm sure he was a little irritated at the splits.
Well, such is the nature, you know, of the
it
game.
is.
It
But
makes
hey,
for
Kudos-
great matches, close, competitive. You have to make some shots, make some splits. You know, you learn a few things along the way, and then when matches come down that close in the last 5 boxes, there are some times where those are the best matches. Come on, it comes down to the last ball.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely.
That feeling, that intensity is insane.
Oh,
And
that
kudos
is
to
the
him
best.
for making the 9 drop
Mm-hmm.
after
Absolutely.
Nate makes that shot.
Nate made a fantastic. I think it was the 8-10 with a couple of planks, made a great shot, and Josh stepped up and absolutely nailed the 10-pin in the face for, you know, his 9-pin drop, nailed it in the face. You know, look, 21 years old, throws a hell of a ball, and I've told him this before. He is going to be one of the ones to watch over the next several years.
Yes.
Agree.
I absolutely, you know, I will say it. He is going to be fun to watch if he keeps his head on him. Yes, Josh, you heard that correctly when you listen to this.
Yeah. And I think he knows that. He's coming in the game. He does. He's fit in well. He's throwing the numbers, and he sees what it's taken. And like we were talking before, I've known him a long time. I used to coach him in the kids league down at Woburn. When like Melissa and I first met, I found out she was so involved that I couldn't wait to get involved. Him and his brother were in the league, Jared, and you could see there was something different about the kid. He was going to be good. And now that he's out and throwing the balls that he is right now, I can't wait to watch this kid further, and I cannot wait to continue like ribbing him and giving him crap every time we bowl together. He's so good. He takes it, he gives it back. Like, I love this kid. You keep an eye on him. McGinty, both of them. Like, when the domes settle, it is going to be a very hard match for other people when you have to bowl against those boys.
You know, and you know what it is?
Very hard match.
He reminds me an awful lot of me at that age. I mean, obviously he throws it harder and whatnot. I'm talking about mentally. Like, his will to win, and that's what it is it's that competition just takes him to that, and the same with McGinty. They just have that competitive drive to do so well that when you punch or when you miss a shot or something like that, it's an instant pissed off feeling.
You hold yourself to a higher standard.
Yeah.
But that when you learn how to deal with that can only be dealt with by getting life XP points.
Yes.
Going through the motions for years, bowling the leagues, getting your butt kicked in matches when you never should have, but you start learning little things as you go, how to cool off and stuff. I think we were all at that point in the 20s, coming up, missing a shot, you know, somebody kicks a ball return. I mean, geez, like, you know, how do you get angry? You bang ball. Like, we all still do it, even then, here and there now, but you learn how to mellow yourself, especially in high pressure moments. And that only comes with life experience. And when those two boys get to that level around 30 years old, I don't bowl against them. They're going to be on my team a lot. I promise you, I'm going to try to make them on my team a lot.
You know what's going to be the best part about that? When they're both 30 years old, I'm fucking done, because I'm gonna be 60.
I'll be retired.
I'm retired.
Then I'll be you now.
Yeah.
Because it'll be 10 years from now, and then hopefully I can jump on goofy teams with goofy people and be elite and awesome because the chemistry is stupid, ridiculous, good.
And you get to sit back and be you get to be the Grampy.
Right. I'll take that in 10 years. I ain't ready for that shit yet now, but I'll take that in 10 years. I'll be Grampy in 10 years.
It's and that's the one thing is, and I'll say this for anyone that has that will to win and that competitive fire at that young age, is it takes the losses, the tough losses, the big losses, to learn how to win, and to learn how to win gracefully.
That is one of the most important points. How to lose, not how to win.
Nope.
How to lose.
You got to learn how to lose, and you got to learn how to lose gracefully.
Yes.
It took me a long time to learn it. Brian has seen some of it with me. years back.
Yeah.
Some of it.
Occasionally now, I will see in like a marathon or something, we lose one by 2 or 3, and the balls go in the bowling bag, and I just look at Tim, and you just look at me and go, "We never should have lost that fucking string," and you just go off. You just walk off.
Yep. It took me a long time to learn that, and you know what? That's going to lead me to this question.
What a good
Brian,
segue.
That was good. Yeah.
From Brian Bourgeois. And he wants to know, he would like our opinions on what is our take on individuals kicking ball returns, smashing balls together, or beating up on the equipment out of frustration to which may cause a scene. And then he goes on to say, if it's not too much to ask to cause controversy, what's the worst you've ever witnessed? So, Brian, I'm going to start with you on that one. What's your take?
So, kicking the ball returns and slamming the ball returns is stupid, but we do it. I do it. I don't do it as much as I used to. I've gotten better. Tim has seen me get better.
You have.
Now that's different than the second part of that, and he says to which causes a scene. That is when it is inappropriate, and you need to be removed from the bowling alley. Everybody's drawn off and given a thunk to a ball return or slammed a bowling ball against each other once. That's fine. But when you're starting to make a scene, you need to leave a bowling alley. It's unacceptable. Like, there's no room for that shit.
Maki, what do you think?
So,
I'm sorry. Brian, hold on to that as well. We're just going to do the first part of the question.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured.
And we'll circle around to the second part.
Yep.
No, there's also a lot of emotion that comes with that game at the highest level in some of the big tournaments and stuff. And even if it's just the pro league or, if you're that passionate about a thing that you're doing, you never want to fail. And when you do, you have to remember that you failed. And I'm not trying to be hypocrite because I've put some ball returns in pain. I've put some balls in pain in my life, but I've tried to never make it beyond like just one thing and not causing an uber scene. As I got older, I started realizing if you just clink 2 balls together, you can get out way more frustration and it's a lot quieter of a noise. So you don't make a spectacle out of yourself. And then you can go outside and yell at yourself for being an idiot for missing an easy shot. If you start doing it to the point where it's like a scene maker, then chill out at that point in time. Because it does suck. I mean, if somebody put a foot through the ball rack behind lane 6 and 7 over here, and they kicked in a panel of wood that's up in the front part of it. And that completely sucked because I had to take the whole thing apart and refix it. If you're going to hang around and help me fix the ball return, then okay, go ahead, kick it. But if you're just going to walk out and I have to spend my time and my money to fix it, now I have that other perspective. I used to do it quite a bit more than I ever should have. But again, with more of that life XP, the longer you do things, the more you realize how to deal with that frustration better. Testosterone's a hell of a thing in the middle of a uber competitive moment. I'm sorry to say, but it really is. And sometimes you lose your mind for a quick moment when you ordinarily wouldn't. Later, buddy. But, it's also 50-50. We've all done it. We just try not to make a scene out of it. Don't make a scene out of yourself. You stop a whole lane. Come on.
Yeah, so here's my take, and people that have listened to this show and people that have known me for a long time are probably going to sit back and roll their eyes a little bit and be like, oh my God, I can't fucking believe that this guy is saying this. I personally now get embarrassed when I see someone else do something like that. It embarrasses me. If that makes sense. Like a little part of me
making a scene, or just like somebody they missed a 9 drop and just a thunk on the ball return, or
when someone thumps the ball return so hard that 6 lanes over looking down going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
A little part of me goes, I'm a little bit embarrassed, and I'm not the one that did it.
It's cringy.
Now, which is funny because between Mark Smith and I, there was a battle going on between who got the most warning letters from the state association in Maine years ago. Okay. I know what I'm speaking about when it comes to attitude on the lanes. Michelle Ward, I went to high school. She was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years behind me in high school. But in the kids' league, I was obviously one of the older kids, and she was one of the younger kids, and she always used to tell me, she would tell me now, she goes, "You were such an asshole." And she goes, "This is a total different Tim than what you used to be." And I never realized it because, like, when I was coming up through and became an adult, and I had that ultra competitive fire because, again, I'm 5'5" on a good day. If I grow my fro out, I'm 5'6", okay? I wasn't dunking basketballs. I wasn't going to throw 95-mile-per-hour strikes on the baseball field. Certainly wasn't playing football. I found my competitive ability in the game of golf, in the game of bowling. So I was ultra competitive. And because of that, I was an ultra asshole. And I look at that now and realize that, yes, I won some tournaments, but I was a dink. Slamming balls, kicking ball returns, throwing my glasses. Dumbass, I need those to see. What the fuck are you doing throwing them?
Through your glasses?
Oh, more than once. Hell yeah. Brian's seen me do that. He's seen it.
Yeah.
I'll miss a shot. I'll toss him my glasses.
Yeah. I've just learned to just kind of matrix catch them. Like I can kill Skeep Scoring like glasses.
I don't know why. So I will say for me, if it's enough that someone 4, 5, 6 lanes over turns around and goes, "What the hell just happened?" That's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And to that level has no place in the worlds.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Right. But unfortunately, that becomes the most high pressure, intense moment that you can possibly exist in this world.
Yes.
And those moments tend to breed a few violent outbursts towards machinery and ball return type equipment.
I will tell you.
And again, I'm not like talking a little thunk with your foot or
no.
A scene making ball slam has no place in the worlds.
Absolutely. No, I am 100% on board with that. And it's funny. So over the last couple of years, I used to be known, I would drop an F-bomb so loud, like at Bangor, I would be on lane 24, they'd hear me on lane 1. Like, it would just come out. Like, I had to let something out. Well, Brian looked at me, I don't know if it was last year or whatever, and I just went, I missed the shot, and he knew it was coming. I just went, bad words.
Yeah.
Bad words.
Yeah.
And that is now what I say. I say bad words.
Like I do it now too. I'm like, bad words, bad words.
Like, I'm not swearing. I'm not, we might have fun in league, and I'll drop an F-bomb or whatever, but I'm not doing it in anger. I'm doing it because whatever.
You're doing it out of frustration after you throw the 8th 2-1 in a row that you've thrown.
So yes. So let's get to the second part of that, Brian. What's what's one or two of the worst that you've ever witnessed that you can think of?
Oh, I have seen some good ones. I watched Charlie punch a ball return and knock the button out of his own machine in Bangor one night. That was funny.
That is good. That is funny.
Just boom, and then he just looked at it and was like, just threw his hand down at it and then made his 10, and then just radioed back for Randy to fix it. I saw DJ Trask put one into the overhang at Hobbs on the fly.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was on purpose. I think he meant to lob it, and it just went really far.
Yep.
But that's when your best laid intentions to do something you're not supposed to do goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. What about you, Maki?
So I've seen a few. I did a one time.
I did a one.
I did a one. So the worst one I think I can remember. Like I'll be honest about it. Like I'll say the one that I did, and then I'll see the best one that I have seen. Best one
I got one.
Did.
I'll do one that I did too.
Because I was a dick about it. Christ, I haven't thought of this in a while. So we used to bowl out at Fun Time out in Holyoke. They used to do a New Year's Day 10-stringer. And Melissa and I love a 10-string tournament. It's my favorite format of tournament ever in life. I love 10-string tournaments. And on New Year's Day, I figured, well, more people than not are going to show up hungover and messed up. I don't drink. So I got a better shot than most of walking in and killing it on a 10-stringers. And I liked Fun Time Lanes, the pins. We used to scream there. We were upstairs, and I had a not-so-good half at one point, and I turned, and it wasn't a ball return. It was so they build a false front wall, like out from the concrete of the wall. They built this like wooden plywood structure and carpeted it and just made it look like part of the interior. Well, it was right next to lane 11, which was it 11? Yeah, it was 11. It was the first lane on the upstairs on the left. And I kind of thought it was just going to be like wall, like concrete there. And I missed a thing for the umpteenth time, and I turned and I punched it, and my hand went clean through it. And I broke the whole panel like a dink. And the worst part was the guy who ran the place, this guy, Chris, I guess we used to call him Crispy, was his name. He works for Gold Crown now. He comes out and does the thing. He was bowling on lane 12. And he was the guy that was like running the place and taking care of business. So I kind of punched a hole in the wall right in front of the goddamn owner. And that was like tail tucked between my legs. One of those life-changing moments of don't do stupid shit like that anymore. Like real like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Chris didn't pick me up by the back of my neck and throw me out of the building halfway through the tournament. I appreciated that. The best one I ever saw, we were bowling a Friday night Pro League match. And we bowled down at Central Park in East Boston. Lovely, beautiful. I love every bit of the old schoolness of how those lanes look and feel and everything. They have some of the most original looking ball returns in the history of bowling, older than the ones that look like here, the Brunswick ones that are here. We were having a high pressure match against one of those guys down there, and somebody on my team, this was a big one, this man nameless, kicked the ball return so hard that the ball return that was upright bent all the way over and snapped back. And then one of the bottom posts cracked, and it was like messed up, and all like 20 bowling balls went flying across the whole first floor of Central Park lanes. And we had to like fix the ball rack and get it back up straight. Like cracked like an 80-year-old ball return. It was like a straight Chuck Norris kick to the face too. Halfway through the bowling, it was one of the most beautiful and one of the most damning things I've ever seen in my life. Just the way the thing snapped back. Anybody who was at Central Park that night on my team remembers that night and how hard we laughed, but then how we thought we weren't going to make it out of the building because of certain people that might have been there watching the match and been pissed off that we destroyed their place, kind of thing. But we made it out alive, thankfully.
Good.
We made it out alive, but I've never seen a ball rack go bungee itself and recoil back up, but be broken, very broken.
I did that at lanes 7 and 8 at Oxford Hills Stars and Strikes during the league when I was, 19, 25, like one of my first times bowling in the adult men's league. And I think I'm hot shit. And I don't even remember the why I kicked the ball return, but I front kicked Chuck Norris that thing, and the whole thing goes not all the way over, but like this.
Right.
Enough where all the balls went off from it and came back up, and I just went,
oh fuck.
Let's go get
that.
Those.
Was bad.
And I got guys looking at me like, what the who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what are you doing? Russ looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm a short guy as it is, and he's looking at me like I'm 2 feet tall, and I felt it, just oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Right. You feel like ultimate idiot in a moment where people just stop.
So
the real quick, the one that I did, I missed a 9-pin drop in the end of the first half of the league, and we lost the first half of the league by a point. And they get mad when you kick your ball return, but when you walk a lane over. And these are the ball returns, Marky. These are the ball returns that came from Fairway.
Oh, the old maroon hooded ones.
Yeah.
With the fiberglass trays.
So you know that little hole in the front where you can kind of get. Yeah, I wedged my foot in there. I kicked it so hard I had to unlace my shoe to get my foot out.
Yo.
So the first thing, we're at 1710. So one of the guys that used to work there, who doesn't anymore, but he looked at me and he went, you don't need to show up to league next week. I go, I kind of figured that. Thanks. I just got to get my shoe.
I just need my shoe.
The worst one that I can think of right off the top of my head, we had a main Pro Tour event at Beacon Lanes in Wyndham. Raymond, which is right next to Wyndham, or near Wyndham, I should say. And Darren Hall from Bangor was late getting there because he got stopped for speeding on the way down there.
Got a ticket.
Got a ticket. He was already in a bad mood. First half of the first string, he's getting pissed. He lets one go all the way through the backdrop. Through it. So you got to hear he straight bang. Things explode in the back because you got the lights and everything.
Oh, it goes right wiring back at the machine, brain, all, yeah.
Yeah, it went through not the backdrop, the
overhang,
masking
unit, yeah.
Yeah.
But right behind that is usually like cribbing structure for
and that's your
the
fluorescent
machine,
light. Oh yeah, and you hear bang, and then all of a sudden you look, and I can't remember who went down to him, but he just put his balls in his bag and took his shoes off and left the tournament.
You can't even try to hang around after that.
Nope. It took a solid.
Did he get all the balls back?
Yes.
I'd have left. If it was me, I'd have left it there.
Well, I mean, it came back, and he.
Oh, okay.
I remember that one vividly because it was just like did I just see what I just saw? Like, because I never saw the ball. I just heard the bang, and people were like, what the hell just happened? Like, they thought something happened with the machine until you look up and there's a hole in the masking unit.
Oh, right. What's more annoying though? Is it more annoying when somebody does that sober, or when somebody's legit trying and is just too drunk to bowl and like has to sit on the ball return or falls over or
sober?
You think it's more annoying if they?
It's more annoying when they're sober because they are 100% aware of their faculties and know what they're doing.
Unless it was a complete accident, the guy stuck,
different story.
If that's but if a guy's just rip shit mad and you just like uncork an 80-footer when there's only 60 feet of lane to catch it, that's going a little above and beyond.
That's true. No,
we've seen a few of the boys do that at some tournaments, but they can flip it 45 or 50 feet and it lands just in front. Like I've seen a few of the guys do that.
Brian, see me do that.
Yeah.
Lane one, it.
But the minute you put it through the
he didn't know he was
going to
do it. He let it go and he put his hands up over his head like that was going to stop it somehow from happening. Like
no, right? Well, I don't have to hear it.
So yeah, Brian, great, Brian Bourgeois, great question.
Quack quack.
I can really talk.
What are you fucking Barry Kripke from Big Bang Theory?
Barry Kripke. So great question. Let's talk women.
It's the ladies.
Sounds good.
The ladies. Let's talk the ladies of Candlepin Bowling.
They're good.
They are.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Good. There are. How do the only problem is that there's just not enough of them right now.
And for the last little while.
You know what though?
Yeah.
You know what? I think there's more than we think. I just don't think they have the tournaments to showcase it like we do.
I agree. I think that there should be. It's tough, even with as little marketing as a lot of places are able to do and stuff like that, to get so many people interested. And for some reason, it always seems like you'll have a mixed league and there'll just be far fewer ladies that just get involved in it. But once they do, they find out that they're having more fun than anything. At the amateur level, just coming to bowl like a random, league once a week kind of thing, 3 strings, having fun. But there's even fewer at the professional level. Very few make it that far, I guess, have that much competition where they know they can show up and make a difference and win each time.
So let me ask you this, Maki. Down in Mass, New Hampshire area, because obviously you know that area better than Brian and I do. Who would you say, I'm not going to say top 5, but who would you say would be your if you had to put a World's team in from Mass and New Hampshire,
Oh boy,
call it 6 or 7 bowlers.
No, yeah.
Who would you put in right now as your 6 or 7?
I mean, there are still, many good young bowlers that have come up in the last few. Some of the ladies that took a break for a little while. I'll get to that World's team, but there's some women, like some of the ladies like Blanca Gancharna, East Boston girl. She's been making a point of coming back and bowling more stuff. She's been bowling the Chicha. She's been bowling for a while, but didn't do much at the top level. She got back in the Sunday Pro League a couple of years ago. She's doing the Chicha thing. I've known Blanca a long time. She's doing great. Mm-hmm. Laurie Lewis is another name that comes to mind, throwing the ball really well everywhere she's been going. She bowls a speed league here at Riverwalk. Yep. And I believe she thumped me by like 50 pins 2 weeks ago, if I remember just right.
Mm-hmm. She's come a long way, and
very much.
That I haven't known her as long as you. I mean, I've only known her a couple of years, but she's come a long way in a very short amount of time.
There's a lot of talent. Madison Kelly obviously is throwing the ball great anytime she picks up. Sonia Rossi. Another Sonia Johnson, Mario's daughter, when she's picked up a ball and thrown, she's very good. There's just not a lot for too many. There's no like professional women's speed league. There's always has to be a mixed. There just hasn't been enough, but there's still plenty of ladies that are out there bowling all the time. Glennis McKinley's still throwing the rock just as good as ever up in the Friday Pro League that we're bowling. There's been quite a few. I mean, I can't name all, but if I was to really start, Marion Johnson's always throwing the ball great. Mario is always on that World's team. You know what I mean? Kim Pelletier is still throwing a good ball when she's throwing. Amy Doobie. The women are still there. The girls that we've been bowling with for a while are still here and still bowling the ball very well. It's just been tough with the last few. There's been even less girls that have come up from the juniors than the fellas. Like we talked about Daly and McGinty, that age of some of the younger ladies just isn't coming up. There's not a lot down this way.
I can't, and that was a problem. Brian and I have had this conversation a couple of times, and I struggle to talk about the women because I don't bowl enough tournaments with the women. You know what I mean? You got the mixed worlds, and then there's a few like mixed doubles tournaments that I'll bowl with, Amanda Carroll or Erin Merrill or someone like that. But I don't know enough, especially the young female bowlers that are coming up. I mean, if you ask me right now, and this is part of the problem, is I probably couldn't give you 5 or 6 bowlers under the age of 25 right now.
It'd be very hard pressed.
I couldn't think of 5 or 6 bowlers other than, Kerrigan Skinner, from up here.
Yes.
Kerrigan, she's just turned 18, throws a hell of a ball.
Yes,
Shannon Scribner
does.
Yep. Shannon Scribner, she's 21, I think. Again, throws a great ball.
My son's favorite bowl.
Sarah Simmons.
Sarah's, is she?
She's not 30 yet.
No, I said under 25.
Oh, I don't know. But I don't ask ladies their age, Tim. It's not polite.
I'm just saying. down in Mass, other than Maddie, I don't know.
I was going to say, Mark must have special permission to call her what he did, because I heard someone call her full name and got their head ripped off. So.
She probably will punch me in the face, but I think I'm old enough where she thinks I'm that age where I'd call her that. Because I've called her that before and she hasn't punched me in the face yet.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully I just stuck with it.
I've called her Madison as well. I have called her that. And she'll look at me and I'll be like, "What's the matter, Madison?"
I think I'm dad zone level age at this point, so I think that's different.
Yeah.
I've known her for a long time too, growing up in the Pilgrim League with her mom and stuff.
But other than Maddie, I don't know any young female bowlers, up and coming female bowlers down that way. Well, I'm sorry, Sonia Johnson and Sage.
And Sage, her sister, yes, too.
Sage is only 18 or 19.
And she throws a killer ball as well. She's very tall, very lanky. She throws a good fast ball.
Yep.
Nice curve on it, nice spin. She can crush a 5 pins as well. And her sister Sonia is much the same way. Very tall girls. Mom's tall lady. So they're all three of them together. 3 very good.
Yeah.
Both of them very good bowlers. I'd like to see them in more, though. I'd like to see them do more.
I think what's going to help, though, with all this is like the stuff like Chicha's running with the Chicha, the mixed Chicha, the ladies Chicha.
Yes.
And it's all live streamed. Now we're going to start to get to see all of the people.
And there's a Necco. Freshie started doing ladies Necco as well, which is great. I believe they just filled it.
We're in a bowling renaissance right now for everything because of this COVID stuff. We got really, really bored and thought about how to make this game better, and it's starting to show now with all these new tournaments and initiatives.
People have been wanting them. We were so bored. It was hard to get anybody constructive to put something big together where we could feel it was a big thing. The Chicha National is great. That kind of came right after ACST. It's kind of like the next evolution of a
there was a great women's
thing.
There's a good women's final in the Chicha National this year. Or the first part of the year, I guess. But it's stuff like that that's going to, as Tim said, we don't know a lot about. We're going to, because we're all going to watch it on Facebook. We're all bowling junkies. You see a bowling video, you're going to watch
more
it.
Exposure. Like these little matches, these doubles matches. Chicha actually just posted about that, trying to make people live stream more of them. There needs to be more of that. We know how to do it now. More people know how to do it now.
Yeah, so here's I was just looking up Freshies, the Necco for the first ladies Necco. And for those who listen, Necco is N-E-K-O. It's New England Knockout. And you've got Amy Doobie, Jess Stockton, Laurie Lewis, Blanca, Ali Fournier, Mario, Faye Sawyer, Sarah Duffy, Sonia Johnson, Kim Pelletier, Nikki McKeever, Laura, and I don't know, Dufleur?
Laura Dufleur. I've heard her name. I'm not 100% sure. I think she bowls out of Manchester. I think she bowls out of Lakeside.
Okay.
I could be very, very wrong about that. I might have just seen her up there.
Deb Regan, Becca Vestal, M.L. Bojarski.
Marilyn, she bowls down. She's Millis, Mass. Ryan's family has a nice center down there. Her and Daryl and Friday.
I like Millis. I bowled there once in that, I guess it's 2 years ago now in the Pro Series. Last time they really had the Pro Series. My first time ever bowling in Millis. I liked it.
Nice approaches.
I screwed up. Totally screwed up. I started with a 140, 150, and was like, okay. And then I put it on cruise control because it was a 5-string qualifier. And I'm like, okay, 150 start. Yeah, I'm going to bowl 600. I'm in.
Right.
Yeah, I went 595, and I think I missed the cut by 10 or something like that.
No.
You got caught. You got caught in quicksand.
Yes. So Carla Gacharna.
Carla should be Blanca.
It said Carla.
It says Carla. I don't know who Carla is.
Blanca is already in there.
I don't know who Carla is.
Daughter?
She must have had. No, not daughter.
I don't know. If
Blanca's roughly my age. I think a little younger than me. I think she's in her early 30s. Probably sister, yes. Okay. I know her brothers, Lou and Fernando. They're awesome dudes. They both throw the crap out of the ball too.
And then Maddie. So out of that though, when you look at those 16 ladies, how many of those would we classify as your, under 25, you're young, up and coming? And I got Sonia and Maddie.
Yep. There's just not much influx been coming out after some of the ladies come out of juniors. Or something, maybe like some of the main girls may not get into it. It might just be too far away. There could easily be, Amanda Carroll's name could be on that list. I know she's not under the 25, but Shannon is. Kerrigan definitely is. Kerrigan would do very well in this tournament. So well,
Kerrigan bowled with Brandon Marks in the Chicha mixed doubles.
That was the mixed doubles, yeah.
Yep. So that was good for her to get down and bowl.
It was very good to see her in the tournament. I want to see more of her bowling.
I was just looking because Chicha's tournament here. Doesn't Chicha have a women's one starting up too? Yeah. Doesn't he have a women's one starting?
Yeah, a women's singles. I believe there's a women's singles.
Yeah, I thought it was
as well.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking. Oh, here we go. So we've got, this was as of yesterday. Jess Stockton, Nikki McKeever, Mario, Kim Pelletier, Blanca, Carla, Sarah Duffy, Amy Dewey, Laurie Lewis, Faye Sawyer, Kerrigan, Renee Skinner's coming down, Kerrigan's stepmom.
Yep.
Pam Gagnon.
She could bowl too. She's a good bowler.
Renee's a good bowler.
A couple little houses up there.
Yeah, she was my international partner for a little bit.
Yeah. Pam Gagnon. Not familiar with her.
Again, recently started hearing the name, but she New Hampshire girl, New Hampshire woman.
Okay. Erica Flood. Don't know.
Western Mass woman.
Okay.
But I believe Western Mass woman.
Okay.
Yeah, she used to bowl at the Holyoke tournaments, I believe. She throws one of the smoothest balls I've ever seen some of the ladies throw. She subbed in the Exeter Pro League a few times, and she throws a smooth as glass ball.
Yep. Kat Altericio. She's young. 22, 1, 3, 20 something. Early 20.
Maybe. Something
early
to that
20.
effect, yeah.
Allie pulling in this one.
Good.
And Laura Dufleur.
Yep.
So he's got 17,
most of the same names.
He had 17 signed up so far for this one. I think he was looking for 18.
Did Marky, did JoJo retire bowling? Joanne Dunn Rosado?
Not that I know officially.
But just not bowling in the Chiefs or anything?
No, probably not. She may not be doing those things. I would never think that she wouldn't be bowling a league at all. She lives down South Shore, Mass, down a little south of Braintree. I'm not exactly sure, but down in that area, Holbrook, Stoughton.
I was going to say she's more bowls down in the where Craig Holbrook does, doesn't he?
Correct.
Down that area.
He lives in the same area. Bobby Whitcomb kind of lives in that same southeast Massachusetts.
There's a lot of good bowlers living in that area.
Very much. They bowl at the lanes out there, and I believe their big league is out in Hanson, Massachusetts. They have a cool old, they call it the AA. So I think it's like an athletic association building gym area. So it's like 10 lanes straight out of 10 or 16 lanes, something like that, straight out of 1960. Yeah. So it's got that real old vibe to it. But I cannot imagine her not bowling a random 3-string league.
You know, and so getting back to, your young up and coming female bowlers, from Maine, again, the only two that I can really think of right off the top of my head would be Kerrigan and Shannon.
Yep.
Amanda's Amanda.
Christy Hapsworth, she's not under 25, but she's younger.
She's young. Christy's got to be around 30, early 30s.
Maybe. And Vanessa too. She's younger.
And Vanessa. They're both
Vanessa
good
Hoff,
bowlers.
Matt's wife.
Yep. They're both good bowlers. Christy throws a smooth ball. Very smooth. It moves a lot, which is interesting for someone that throws such a smooth ball. But I can't think. Oh, Oakland Park has actually some young up and coming bowlers that are.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good.
Which is cool.
Eric Denault's daughter, Jen.
Yep. They're all
just getting into it, but
getting into it. So they're all. Jen's come a long way. I think she's got to be up around 100 average now.
That's excellent.
But she just started bowling 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's excellent. So she's only on the way up even further. And if she gets the drive to start seeing it, that's what we need.
If she does. And that's what she mentioned to me, because I bowled with her in a tournament, I don't know, about a month ago. And she bowled great. She went 1050. It was awesome.
Nice.
She was 150 pins above her average. Too bad I bowled like shit. We could have won the thing.
Way to help it out. Nice job.
Yeah, I know. My home lanes, I just, didn't bowl good.
At least you weren't married to somebody when you did that, like I did.
Yeah.
My wife.
Great one.
Yeah. My wife, we bowled the mixed doubles in the States together in the handicap, and she had her career day and she went 10:45, and she's a 92 average bowler, and she beat me. So
oh no.
Yeah.
And again, for our Canadian friends, we got to get some of the Canadian women on. I know Jill Wood's going to be on the show at some point.
I could sit and talk about watching Jill, Tasha, Like there's so many good
team
ladies
meeting.
that have been.
Team meeting.
I mean, the whole team meeting team, right, was great. And going
Giselle.
back, you know.
Yep, you've got again, you got Tasha, you got Jill. Jess Bain throws a hell of a ball.
My God.
Kelly Stoyles from back in, a few years ago, but
she was another one through one of the smoothest balls I think I've ever seen.
But
in life.
You know what though? How is it that smooth? Because if you watched her backswing, she did like 37 different things with the ball.
There was an absolute flip of her wrist that just allowed her to get rid of it and literally hear no sound. It wasn't a fastball by any means of the imagination.
Nope.
But it was just so lively when it hit the pins that she didn't throw crushers. She threw splashers with this slow to medium slow ball. But just the spin of how much over end was hitting it, it made the pins move so much. I got to watch her bowl so much back in the day, going up with Melissa to the ladies tournament up in Sackville. Yeah. And even before that, it was another girl, Laurie Croto, who was another one that didn't follow through with bowling much after she got out of the juniors and could have been just as good. She did for a little while, but I mean, Kelly threw one of the smoothest balls and some of the liveliest pin action I had ever seen up to that point.
She averaged 131 year in Park Place, didn't she? In a mix?
I don't know, but I would.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise
me.
Not at all.
And that's part of the problem with our game is, on the professional 10-pin level, the bowlers because again they're on TV, you see them, both men and women, and their names. Like you can do that. With candlepin bowling, there's just not enough of these types of tournaments out there, and especially now where you can't even get across the border, which
right. Hopefully that's relaxing itself as society moves forward. Like as we get going, things seem to be relaxing themselves, which is good.
The older I get, the more I just like watching good bowling.
Agreed.
And
100%. I'm not even old, and I like that.
I could watch. You take some of your best women bowlers right now. If you took what I would consider the top 4 bowlers in the women's game right now, Jill Wood, Amanda Carroll, Maddie Kelly, and probably Tasha Murray. You took those 4 and put them in a match, and maybe you put Maddie and Amanda against Jill and Tasha in a doubles match.
That's what you do.
I mean, I'd
call it the international incident. We could market the whole thing.
I'd almost pay to watch that match.
Well, right now I don't think it would work well. Tasha's very pregnant.
Very true. Very true. Very ready to be a mama.
Congratulations to her and Corey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Enjoy every bit of it. Best time of your life. Except the diapers. That sucks.
Oh, yeah. That sucks.
The diapers suck.
But there are your up and coming bowlers that are pushing through to reach that Amanda Carroll, Maddie Kelly, Jill Wood level. You know what I mean? I believe Kerrigan has that drive to be that good. She bowls a lot. She puts time in. She puts the effort in.
She's off to a great start. Her form is really nice. She throws the ball hard, which I don't think enough of the girls throw it harder than what feels just like going like this. Sometimes you got to put a little extra oomph in a normal delivery. We were talking earlier, sometimes that little extra, if you use your body to just get into it, don't be afraid to throw hard. That's okay. She throws the ball.
It's not flat. It's got a lot of rotation.
2 people right off the top of my head. Obviously, Maddie throws a pretty hard ball for a female bowler. And it's consistent and it snaps. Like she snaps. And the pins explode. When she's really bowling good, the pins explode. They don't just
She's
what I mean?
She's like a direct mix of both of her parents.
Yes.
Of Bob and Marianne.
Yeah.
She has the long strides like her mom did, and she has more of an upright form like Bob did.
Her father did.
Yep. Yes. But they both have that same flip at the end. They both have that snap off at the end, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Watching, if you watch video, the previous video of Laurie Lewis and Sonia Rossi.
Yep.
they both have that little extra snap on the ball.
Yes, they do.
And it shows with their bowling. Mario does it too. Mario has that snap.
It's just the other way. Mario backspins it at the last second, but there's still in English. There's a nice, like, crisp English
I'll tell you,
on it. Real cool.
One of the most smooth and just deliberate deliveries. It's all one motion and pace is Ashley Frizzell in Canada. Robbie Estabrook's significant other. She's got this big backswing, and it's slow, and she just lays it down, and she's like 115, 16 average bowler a lot of the time.
That's what you're looking at. That's
what
what
I mean.
you're
It's
looking
just, it was all one motion. You know how somebody looks like you bring your arm up, you stop a little bit. It was just all connected. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. And she finished on a knee, and I'm like, that I'd never do that. That would hurt. I'm not getting that low.
You know, and that's I wished I knew more of the Canadian bowlers, because there's some really good bowlers up there. Not just your big names, not just obviously Jill and Tasha and Nikki and team meeting basically. And then of course in Nova Scotia with Jess. I don't know a lot of the Nova Scotia.
Courtney Tremere in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
Angela, for as much shit as we give her.
Habs suck.
True, the Habs do suck. That's true.
The Habs do suck.
The Habs do
suck.
And
now we even have another Bruins fan to say Habs suck. So you get a trifecta of Habs sucks.
Yeah, because Habs suck.
They do.
And Narissa. But I just don't.
Really good bowler.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't know enough of them because I don't see them. You know what I mean?
Because they live so far away.
True.
And we're not allowed to go because we're dirty Americans.
Right now, I mean, but maybe some of the ladies or the fellas are up there seeing what's happening down here with Neko and Chicha, and once things open up, because their things are being handled a little differently than ours, when their situations open and are able to do it, maybe they get some of those things going. I'll sit down and watch those live streams all day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mixed doubles or even a singles tournament. You know what? The thing that they did out of Moncton.
That was great.
Adam Lynch and him and
Tommy. That was great. We need more of that. We need a lot more of that. Please and thank you. If you guys are listening up there, if you ladies are listening, because the ladies were in there too, bowling against fellas, didn't matter. So get some more of that going for us. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. It'd be fun to get back on. We miss you guys as much.
For all you guys, miss you guys. Like we see a whole bunch of them, like live stream and practice and stuff. Like, just go when you go practice, just draw teams and live stream it. I don't care. I'll watch people bowl for fun. I don't care. Right. I like bowling.
I love watching good bowling, and again, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I could sit back and watch, matches that are going back and forth, and it doesn't matter to me if it's a men's match or a female match or whatever it is, if it's good bowling.
A lot of times the ladies matches, I don't mind watching even more so, because it's not just all about throwing hammers and somebody's. You're going to see a lot more tens, a lot more pinning. You're not going to see a lot of strikes. I want to see a good match. And if it's coming down to 9s and 10 boxes, it's the most important ball in the game, I still feel, is the third ball. I'll always feel that way. It'll always be true. And to see matches that come down to a third ball more often than not, who's catching the pins. And a lot of those times, you watch some of the ladies' matches, the old ladies' Saturday League that they used to have around here was a direct copy of, and it's not like they copied it and stole it or anything like that, but there was the men's pro league on Friday night, and the ladies had their pro league on Saturday afternoon. 5-woman teams, multiple houses, home and away, and such things. And some of those matches were better than some of the matches against the guys. I would go around and watch Melissa bowl, or going back, like I said, my ex-girlfriend Laurie. They would have great matches. So many times things came down to pinning, as opposed to more marks and the higher scores and stuff. And I know some people are like, it's the higher scores. It's the competition level. It's the go get it.
It's the competition level. Yes.
The match quality of what's actually happening in front of you. You don't have to throw strikes galore to have an interesting match at all.
And you know what's funny? You know what I find? Again, I find this as I get older is the women, they want to win as much as the men.
Absolutely.
But they're far more nice about it. They really are. They're more nice about it. They want to win, and they're willing to win. But when they're done, they're friends. They're all getting along. They all, there's
to the most part.
To an extent.
Look,
to be fair,
there's always going to be drama in Candlepin Bowling.
Of course, right?
Always.
And things are just handled differently.
Yeah.
Amongst the men and the women, and that's fine. I'm not even trying to get into. I understand the culture of. I don't. But at the same time, there's its own thing.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the competitive nature of what it takes to get to the elite level, where tournaments matter with the last ball of the tournament, and you need this right now. That's just due to the competitive nature of how things are. Yes. How you take it out and how you deal with stuff, whether you do kick over a ball return and it snaps, or whether you just hold a grudge for like ever.
Which I've done in the past.
You either punch someone in the face or you make a mortal enemy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frenemies forever.
Frenemies forever.
Frenemies forever.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up for the night because
good talk, dudes. Good talk.
Absolutely. Very good. Good show.
Absolutely. Folks, as usual, questions, comments, concerns about Brian, and now concerns about Mark, you can send them to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at Ripping the Rack Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast, YouTube at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Brian, where else can they find us?
Oh, well, Tim, they can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and anywhere else that you get your podcasts, Anchor, Breaker, wherever you feel comfortable. All right,
nice.
All right.
All right.
Friday mornings, again, you can listen to us Friday mornings, where we will talk everything other than Candlepin Bowling. I have no idea what we're going to talk about this Friday. We'll determine that as we get closer to this Friday, I guess.
Yeah, something might happen between now and then.
Yeah, something might. We'll figure it out.
It will have been like not freezing cold for 3 days in a row. So can we maybe talk about what it's like to not have an icicle on your nose if you just walk to the street for a down the street for sliced pizza or something? That would be nice.
Except for that's coming this weekend, though.
Yeah.
Maybe for you guys. Did we talk about it's supposed to be 50 degrees down here tomorrow, 60 by Wednesday?
Well, yeah. No, I'm talking about this coming weekend. They're talking temps back in the 20s and 30s again.
Oh, get out of here. Really? I didn't know. Oh,
yeah. Bitch. Yeah, we're only getting 3 days of reprieve. We're getting a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's why we can't have nice things, Tim.
This is why we cannot have nice things.
I know.
Damn it.
I'm an ass.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Thanks, Tim.
All right.
You shattered my whole everything. I was so happy.
Good. I'm glad. I am glad to end the show on that. That's a good way to end the show. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.